Hey guys, Luke Clausen here, Dave Brinkerhoff, Loomis product manager. I want to tell you about the CBR series of rod that's been introduced to IMX Pro this year. The CBR is a rod that's been around for a while. It's been redesigned, introduced to the IMX Pro, something I've had the chance to use for the last 6-8 months now. Really fallen in love with the rods, and I think Dave can tell us a lot more about the technical stuff though.
Sure. So obviously, you know, the most technical part of the crankbait rod is the actual action itself. And you know, we've got our multi-taper design, which really helps us design these tapers specifically and have them, you know, shut off or have more limber action to, you know, help incorporate, you know, the actual action that you need for throwing a crankbait.
Throwing a crankbait is such a different style of fishing because you're using treble hooks. It's not something where you're throwing a single hook like you would with a spinnerbait rod or jig rod, anything like that. So there's a couple things that, you know, I find important that these rods fit the bill for. One is the action like Dave was talking about, not only that the rod will load when you get a fish on, not giving it any release. You're going to keep steady pressure on the fish, of course, when they jump, but just all the time. And being able to cast the bait is another. It loads well to be able to cast a big crankbait like that, which is hugely important to get long distance to get the depth out of, but even a short crankbait like this to load, throwing a square bill, roll cast, that kind of stuff. So really a few key things that they really hit the mark on here that enable you to catch more fish on the crankbait.
Right. And then, you know, a couple key features, you know, we'll talk about the guides first. You know, these are obviously Fuji guides, which we pretty much use on the majority of all of our rods, but all of IMX Pro have the Fuji Alkanite guides on them. So the key features on the Fuji Alkanites, we've got some single foot runner guides on the tip section, and then we've got some double footed stripper guides on the butt section. And those runner guides on the tip, all but the last 3 guides are those single foot runner guides, which lightens up the tip of it by only having 1 wrap and helps that action actually, you know, flex and bend all the way through the action as needed.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I just care that it catches fish, but it makes a lot of sense. Really some great rods, great actions, and you know, something that's not going to wear you out. Super lightweight rod. You can find these rods at tacklewarehouse.com. Check them out this year, give them a try. I think you'll love them as much as I do.